Today's discussion is a brief journey on how to move ahead from harm to harmony. Living in harmony with oneself has become a tedious task. There is a constant change within and around us. It makes our ability to handle our life difficult. To have harmony in life means having the ability to handle life's different areas and make them work for your progress. It is rightly quoted that he who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. But how do you explain when the universe has an altogether different plan? And what do you do next? Do you live in denial or do you accept the change? The current pandemic is one such example which has led to a collective loss of normalcy. It has spawned a crisis and has left everyone confused, adrift, and on the edge. Crisis is fought and won in the mind. Faced with the enormity of such situations, are we left to muddle along, or is there a method to manage the mind? Today, our expert panel of speakers would shed some light on how to bring harmony back in our life. Let's begin with introducing our first guest, Ms. Masrat Sheikh, an educational psychologist and mindfulness educator at Al Ahlam Training Services. She's an expert in the field of psychology, promoting positive mental health and well-being. Her work focuses mainly on children and families. She's a consultant with most of the international and private schools in Oman. Welcome, Masrat.
Thank you, Hema. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Pleasure's all ours. Our second guest for today is Ms. Balkis Al-Hassani, the President of Knowledge Oman and the Head of Wellbeing at Al-Sahaba School. Her role is to develop and lead systematic program ensuring an overriding importance of the mental and physical well-being. As President of Knowledge Oman, she has undertaken various projects and activities that aim at promoting knowledge-based initiatives with different partners and academia. Welcome, Ms. Balkis. Our next guest for today is the energetic, innovative, and motivational banker, Mr. G.V. Ramakrishna. With more than 22 years of senior management experience, he's currently working as Group Head, Sales and Services, Bank Muscat. He strongly believes in community engagement and has worked majorly towards helping the blue-collared members of the society. Welcome, Mr. Ramki.
Thank you, Hema. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Pleasure's all ours. Let me introduce our next guest, Dr. Baby Sam Samuel, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, and Vice Chairman, Knowledge Oman. A humanist by nature and by occupation, a management professional with over 20 plus years of experience. He's highly articulate and an independent thinker, passionate about social empowerment, and has contributed immensely to the field of education here in Oman. Thank you all for being a part of today's initiative hosted by the Indian Embassy. Welcome all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Evening, Hema. Thank you so much for hosting us today evening.
Pleasure, Dr. Sam. So let's begin our first question of the evening. I just wanted to know, how has it been your personal experience in this journey towards coping up with the current scenario? Ms. Masrat, would we like to hear from you first?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to begin with sending my greetings to all my colleagues here and to everyone who has joined us today. And thank you so much for asking that question. Not many people have asked me how I am doing. And I think it is because I'm a psychologist and people assume I'm coping well. However, just like any of you, I have found this a rough patch with everything flipping so quickly from stable to chaotic. I went from taking a step back to just gather some perspective of what's happening. I think it required a lot of courage and determination on my part to keep going. We think courage is this grand act of facing anything terrible, but courage, in fact, is responding in spite of fear. So every day we are alive takes courage. It takes courage to get out of bed and face the world. It takes courage to stay home and wait and hope things would get better. So this catastrophe showed me that I am a very determined person. The fact that I still continue to be productive in spite of all challenges. It was an accidental discovery about myself that I made in this period, I would say. But at the same time, not everyone has to feel the same way. We are all different and we all have our own coping mechanisms and we all cope differently. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's really very important for all of us to, I think, cope with our daily routine in our life. And thank you so much for your input. Ms. Balkis, what is your experience like? Did you feel the same pull?
Well, I think we are somehow on the same boat with Ms. Masarat when she said that she went through the discovery of her own self and realizing that she is able and capable to do a lot more than she had thought of herself. I think that was the same thing with me. And being a mom of 4 years old, I think it was like a very difficult experience, especially when you are working at home and your kid uh, thinks that since you are home, then you should be for him. And sometimes you're having your time to work here, but then someone is knocking the door on you. So it wasn't really easy, but then having a structure, having a routine, this made my experience much easier, I think. And I must also say that I discover myself having that kind of peace with my own self, because during the normal days, I mean, the new normal is different than normal days, but during these during those normal days, we tend to have this speed rhythm of life that we tend to forget about the little things that we used to take for granted. But now with Corona and COVID, it really had directed my whole perspective of life, that walking on a road or having sometimes just to stay in your car with a long queue of cars, that was a blessing, to be honest, those days. And now when you walk on road and you don't find those cars, it's like a haunted house kind of thing. So Corona had really changed my perspective of a lot of our life. Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I think, Mr. Ramki, do you have the same thoughts on these? What you experience on this?
Oh yeah, in fact, more or like I share a similar kind of an experience, but probably in my case, it was slightly a different experience. The reason being, being taught in sales, meeting people, going out, talking to a lot of guys on a day-to-day. My day begins with the call starting at 8 and ends at around 4 o'clock. I happen to meet at least 7 to 8 key people in a day. But initially for me, I thought it's going to be here for a few weeks. But when I understood what is the depth of the whole thing, I was finding it difficult, honestly. And I am able to manage and go back to my old hobbies and then start engaging myself on a lot of online classes, keep myself busy and read more and more about what's happening on this COVID. I think probably after third week, maybe I was able to really get a grip on this is how we need to accept the change and this is the reality and keep moving. And so it took some time for me, honestly. It was not that easy. And then I think gradually I'm able to adjust. Basically, it's all because of my problem, my nature of work. But I think I learned quite a lot. I learned quite a lot. Professionally, personally, I think it's been a great journey for me.
That's right. I think there has been a lot of learning for all of us out of this.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely. Absolutely.
yes,
absolutely.
that's true. Dr. Sam, what are your thoughts on this? How was your journey?
Hima, I have not had much of free time despite the lockdowns and all. It has been hectic and stressful, but a different kind of stress as compared to the life before Corona.
Right.
Professionally, as a business head and in charge of operations, bottom line, and sustainability of 3 organizations, it wasn't easy. This kind of stress from having to ensure that organizations and our employees are safe as possible, not just from Corona, but also from the financial effects of it. And with the Indian schools, this also extends to students and the larger community as well. Then, of course, there's always the worry about the health and well-being of the family and dear ones. For me personally, my mom came in for a visit, and she got stuck with us here, and my dad is all by himself back in the US. So, all this stuff. Ironically, there's also the stress for not doing enough to mitigate my own stress. My social media timelines are all filled with people relaxing, using their lockdowns as an opportunity to reconnect with themselves, their families, friends, rediscovering, as Ramki Saab just said, the hidden talents. That's a luxury that I have not been able to have so far. So to be very honest, there has been ups and downs in my mental well-being as well. Highly motivated days full of drive and passion, fueled by the need to make a change somehow. But there was days when the stories of stress, suffering, the social media negativity get to me, like with this self-doubts, wondering if anything just will ever be able to or enough to mitigate all this. So it has been a conscious effort to stay away from such negativity and focus on work that gives meaning and joy. Yeah.
Right. I think, yeah, that's one fact. I think all of us have had our own experiences, and there has been a learning. That's the outcome, basically. So we have learned something from this. So there is a lot of harm that has been created because of this. And my next question is to Masarat. Do you think, as the year 2020 brought so many challenges, what do you think are the psychological harms 2020 caused in general? Masarat, what do you think about it?
Yeah, Hema. So I think during this time, it's been hard not to feel hopeless. In times like these, it is natural to feel stunned, shocked, and powerless. Also, absolutely natural to feel a fear or an overwhelming sorrow. Generally, we see there is panic in the air, anxiety in our bones, but fear in a situation like this is natural and healthy response to danger. However, the most important question here, I think, is how do we not get entirely swept away by this fear? So fear is this hardwired biological response to danger and to threat. But when fear becomes habitual, it becomes chronic and automatic, then it can cause the most harm. And we know intellectually that this kind of fear and stress doesn't help. And this has been my major concern and the greatest psychological harm that I see. Yes, thank you,
That's
Hema.
true. Yeah. Balkis, are your thoughts the same?
Yeah, I think Masarat had covered really all the psychological impact of coronavirus.
Right.
But the uncertainties are always there with this pandemic because, I mean, we as a nation never faced this in our life. And this is the very first thing. So for us to say that we are prepared for it, actually, we are not. We are just doing the trials here to see what is best fit to whatever situation. So when it comes to strategies also, in particular in this period of time, your strategies are always in a constant change just to see what is best. Because sometimes what's best for me is not best for you. So its own role, it's like a constant change because we never faced this before. We don't know how to express our well-being in a way to handle it in a right way, to control it in a right way, like we used to do before. So even the anxiety and the stress that comes with it, it just encourages us to build that system of resilience to deal with this, the major stress that we are going through. So yeah, I truly agree with Basarat that the social, emotional roller coaster that we are all going through. It's something that is unpredictable, and at the same time, you can't really give it as a definite a solution. Like, there you go, just this is the solution, and it will resolve the problem. It's just an ongoing thing where we need to accept what is happening first for us to have the first step to resolve the issue. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much. But yeah, I think that's right, and that's why the habits of our mind and body is what we need to really look forward to change. So going to the next question to Mr. Ramki, apart from the whole coronavirus itself, what do you think are the habits of our mind and body that are harming us? What is that we really neglect?
I think the critical one is, I think it's the mental health. I think you may be physically fit, do kind of a lot of your routine, but the impact which has on the mind, I think that is where most of them were not able to come out from that. I think someone has to be really strong and very have a positive attitude. Like, look, everything is perfect. This is the thing which everyone has to face. I think as long as if someone is very positive about himself and being communicating a very positive message to others, I think it matters a lot. I think the more than a physical stress, I think the mental stress was, I think someone has to really handle it and manage it well. I think it's an art. It doesn't come so easily. So you need to really practice that. In fact, for me, closing my eyes for a few seconds was not an easy thing at all. In fact, a lot of them used to check me out saying, you can't close your eyes and you can't meditate. So I have to practice that. I think the mental health is very, very important in this situation. I think even few seconds can give you a big relief. I think that's how I looked at.
Right. Yeah. Very well said, Mr. Amki. Sam, you also earlier mentioned, Sam, that you had a whole experience of ups and lows, and your whole journey was not that easy. So, what is that you want to add to this?
I totally second with what Ramki Sahib just mentioned.
Right.
Hima, taking a cue from my own life, I would say not prioritizing the wellness of the mind is a very, very serious thing.
Yes.
Especially as compared to the health of the body. For example, even before COVID-19 arrived, if we had a cough, what we do is like visit the doctor, or at least manage it with home remedies or over-the-counter medicines.
Right.
But we do not give our minds the same care, although it is a fact that our mind affects our physical health even. Secondly, I think the kind of priority that we give to our body itself, like we are not exercising enough. Exercise is not just crucial for our physical health, but it is a widely prescribed tonic to protect the mental health as well. Not sleeping well on time, not eating a varied and healthy diet. And the third one is like we get used to things very fastly, getting used to things. Be it good or bad. This means that over time we have got used to the scare that COVID-19 initially presented. That's a good thing, I agree. But if we get so used to it that we are not bothered about it anymore, that becomes a bad thing. And we are also not being mindful about things. One reason for getting used to things is that we are not mindful. At any moment, we are distracted with thoughts of either the past or the future. Very few of us actually live in this moment, enjoying the things that makes us happy. I think Masrat will agree to me on this point. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, Dr. Sam is trying to basically define what mindfulness is. So I'll break it down into simple words, because people usually struggle to, identify as to what exactly mindfulness is.
True.
So with our thoughts, usually we are caught up either in the past or in the future. So you examine your thoughts right now. Either you're thinking of what happened just a few moments back, or either we are thinking what we are going to do next. So mindfulness is just to be there in the present moment. It is to basically train our minds to focus on things that we want to. By practicing mindfulness, we are better able to connect with ourselves and with those around us, because we are more focused in the here and the now. So that's
yeah.
what I would add to Sam.
No. Thank you so much. You nailed it down properly. One
Yeah,
last thing,
yeah.
Hima. One last thing
Yes.
is that we are. I think it's extremely harmful, especially at this point of time. We are absolutely obsessed with news. As human beings,
Yes.
we want to be in control, and we seek information and news to feel that sense
True.
of control. But however, this overconsumption of news, especially at a time like this,
Yes.
can actually increase anxiety and bring out a sense of helplessness. And
Yeah.
add to this is a kind of misinformation being spread on various platforms, especially the social
Right.
media platforms like Facebook and WhatsApp. So, yeah, I think these are some of the harmful habits that I kind of feel that we need to address on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, true. Well, yeah, very true. I think mindfulness is very important at this stage because we are so disillusioned. We just don't know what we're supposed to do and when. So, yes, and I think till the time the virus is outside our doorstep, we like comfortable, we are fine, we think it's with someone else. But what happens when the corona cases increase and they come closer to our circle of family or friends or acquaintances? What are the effects that we can expect on our mental health, Masrat? What do you think happens then?
Yeah, so this has been a difficult time, and I see that, with the past few weeks, the number climbing. It is like we keep getting rocked as each wave of grief and pain is coming. And when things get hard, what we try to do is resist and get away from that discomfort. But I think resisting imprints the stress and pain deeper. Instead, it will be helpful in this situation if we ask ourselves, what is troubling you the most? Can you
Right.
put it down even for a moment? So if you can do that, then you do not get entirely swept away by those emotions and feelings that are attached to this pain and this anxiety. It also helps us to get some control back and be in the present situation. So physical safety I see is external, but emotional safety is internal. So it is only through facing our fears, I think, we can find refuge in this situation.
That's true. That's very well said. I think only when we follow this, we will be able to sustain it. Do you feel the same, Balkis, about it?
Well, I totally agree again with Masarat, and I'd like also to
Yeah,
say that I like this say, which says that life is 10% of what happens to you, but 90% how you act to it. So
right.
during COVID-19, it really give that insight, like looking to your emotional well-being is very much important because it will now move you from that zone of being fearful to that zone where you are functional and you're giving back to the community,
True.
just like what Masarat said about her experience, that she started to think of herself and believed in herself to be more productive. Now,
True.
research says that when COVID-19 hit, the human in globe, they went through three main zones. First one
Hmm.
is the fear zone, where the emotion of fear, anger were always there. And then
Right.
we moved to another zone, which is the learning zone. In the learning
Right.
zone, we started to feel aware about the surrounding and embrace the situation more. And we
Yes.
started also to think of ways, before I send this message out, is it really a correct message? Am I adding something to it? So it started to give you awareness. And the
True.
last zone was the growth zone, where you started now to think of others, how you can help others, and move from that zone where you're just thinking of your own self, but moving
Mhm.
to another zone, which is to help others, offer helps, uh, uh, be more compassionate with yourself and other. Now, what I really find it as a positive thing about the COVID-19, that it moved that shift of mental health of being stigmatized or labeled into a really positive note, because now it started to develop people emotionally as they move.
True.
So from
Yes.
immature to a really mature people with their emotion. So that sense of controlling what I'm going through and how I'm projecting that to the surrounding is always I take it as a positive note from COVID-19.
That's true. I think the whole emotional, mental phases, we're trying to really now train ourselves to, follow these things, which is just so true. And, it's been many months that we are really going through it. And now we're in the fourth month of the pandemic here in Oman. So despite the increasing cases, people are tired of, exercising caution as compared to the lockdown period. So really people really want to step out and do things that they've not done for the last few months. So Mr. Ramki, how do you feel this is affecting us and others basically?
Yeah, it's natural,
Yeah,
you have been locked down for a few weeks, a few
absolutely. Yes.
months, and then when the lockdown gets lifted, you tend to go out and try to see that whether the life is natural or not. I think this is the most critical part. I think my personal experience, or what I would like to say, this is the time where each and everyone should be more careful. I think they have to strictly follow the guidelines, what has
Right,
been said, because the virus has a certain pattern. And,
right.
we keep reading, and unless if
Yes,
someone doesn't follow, it has self-discipline. It's not that where lockdown is lifted and you go around and feel like whatever you do, you're going to hurt the whole,
absolutely.
it's not only you, you have a lot of
Right,
others, you should take care. So it
right,
should be your self-discipline, strictly follow what the Supreme Council guidelines are given. And I think
right.
you no compromise on that. You have to, whether at your workplace or at your home or wherever you are. I think if you have to wear a mask, you have to wear a mask. You have to make
Absolutely.
a social distancing. It has to be like that. There is no
Right,
compromise. I think, yes, it's a challenging time. It's good for all of us.
right.
Certain things you can't take it very lightly and move around. The only way you can make sure this mitigate this is to just strictly follow the guidelines. I think,
Very
yes,
true.
it's important for us to go out, whether all three of us should go out for a shopping or one should go out. So this is where a maturity level comes, and we have to stick to that for some more time.
I
It's
absolutely
it's
agree.
it's the reality. We have to live with that.
That's a reality check. Yeah, all need to
Yeah,
really have.
we have to do it.
Very true. Very true. Dr. Sam, do you think the same? I mean, what do you think?
I totally echo with what Ramki Sahib has just mentioned.
Yes,
We have observed that as soon as the lockdowns were lifted, people have taken to the roads as if that means the
absolutely.
virus is no longer a threat. And I totally agree with him that it's just not only a safety risk for that particular person, but also for the public, So
Right. Yeah.
it may be that the month of isolation and stress has gotten to the people that they are looking at old familiar ways of doing things as a means of
Yes.
escape or even consolation.
Right.
There could be also that what's loosely termed as a caution fatigue or a quarantine fatigue. It is a low motivation of energy to comply with the safety guidelines. And initially,
Yes.
when the threat was new, we were all our most vigilant and motivated selves to take the maximum precaution
Absolutely.
measures. But over time, it becomes difficult to stay on high alert mode. I would like
Right.
to compare this with, if you look at a wildlife national park, animals are constantly exposed to human beings, and so they do not see humans as a threat and do not respond to humans naturally with fight or flight response. And this is called
Right.
habituation. Now, if we consciously modify our thinking and add value outcomes to our decisions to comply with the prevention measures like I'm going to stay indoors as much as possible for my family or the society, or I'm
Right.
going to wash hands frequently or use hand sanitizers and masks before because I'm definitely concerned about my colleagues.
Right.
These kind of rationalization could help in adjusting our behaviors, I would say. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I think we each one should take complete control of our own actions. And I think if we behave, as per the rule, things will fall in place. So there are a lot of harm that this has caused us, but there is a learning, there's a bright side to it as well. So on the next question, I just need to ask, like with every struggle that we have faced this year, how do we keep the balance between our mind and body, Masrat? There is a routine that you follow, or is there something that you can share
Yeah.
with our viewers in a routine?
So I think, Hema, here the most important thing is we keep our balance by intentionally applying coping strategies. So here I think I
Right.
can share 5 basic strategies that we all can use to cope with stress. And number one, I think the most important is to create a routine. That is, do
Right.
not let your day be random. When we have
Mhm.
routine, it can become an anchor. The certainty of routine can help us manage the uncertainty of right now. Number two,
Right.
establish a sleep routine. Sleep
Okay.
is extremely important for our mental health. When we sleep
Right.
and wake up at similar time every day, it helps us to adjust better. Not enough sleep can underpin anxiety and depression and can become a vicious cycle. Number three,
True.
take care of your food. That is, our brain is constantly working. So even when we sleep, it needs fuel to work. And that fuel comes from our food. So plenty of research studies have shown food not only affects our physical health, but directly affects structures of our brain and ultimately our mood. Number four, do exercise. Several research studies have shown that regular exercise can have a profound impact on our mental health. Any paced exercise done even for 20 to 30 minutes relieves stress, improves
Mhm.
memory, and will
Okay.
boost the overall mood. And number five,
True.
I would say, is engage in activities you enjoy. Now, again, research studies have shown that spending time on activities that we enjoy can improve our mental health and well being. Research
Right.
shows people with hobbies are less likely to suffer from stress, low mood, and depression. So, those are
True.
the 5 basic strategies that I can share right now here.
And these are, I think, the very important strategies, and we really need to follow this to get a discipline in our life. Balkis, what is that you need to add to this?
I think having a routine, as Masarat mentioned, is one of the important things that we should really have, so that
Right.
your mind doesn't take you left and right, and you start
Absolutely.
indulging yourself in many other things. So having a
Yes.
structured routine would definitely help you in that. I also like to advise people to focus on things that they can control and stay away for things that they can control, because at the end of the day you want to learn to cultivate way to stay calm, because
Mhm.
at the end of the day it's you, so you need to create what is good for you, what is good to your inner peace.
Right.
And I would say finding social support is something that is really really important.
Okay.
Video chat or phone calls that will always keep you connected, so always keep yourself connected with those that you like and you like to stay connected with. I would also say that have a sense of gratitude and stop
True.
moaning about what is happening right now, and start focusing
Absolutely.
for the good thing that you have already had. I like
Yes.
this statement which says that acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation
Right.
for all abundance. So have that gratitude sense that lets you list the thing that you are so grateful about that you have in your life. And never forget self-care, because with this chaotic and chaos situation, we
Absolutely.
tend to forget
Yes.
about our own self and self-care. So please go back and look what are the things that you like to do. As Masarat
Yes.
says, it's time for you to cultivate and adapt new activity, new skills. Now that the time constraint is not there any longer,
Mhm.
so you can go
Yeah.
online, join those courses. Why not get a new hobby?
Right.
Photography, for example, painting. Join the online yoga classes, meditation. These are all ways and strategies that one person can develop according to the need of that particular person. Because I
Absolutely.
can list my own strategies, like I can list all of them, but the
Yes.
person needs to see what are the things that are good for me, that ensures that my well-being is into the right track.
Absolutely. And I think what we noticed during this lockdown was people did get involved into their habits. They had a routine. They ate home because I think there were not many options left for people. So they did follow a discipline. But now that the lockdown period is over and people have started moving out, the whole routine is, I think, going to die. So people need to really be motivated and keep that routine alive. To follow it, I think. So great. So as per the business, how do you think we manage the fear of moving ahead as like we're reopening the business and we've now coexisting with the virus? So while we cater to the demands of the job and family. So Mr. Ramki, what is the business perspective that you can put in here?
See, we have to move on.
Right.
You can't close the commercial activities for a longer time. It has a much
True.
bigger impact on the overall economy. That's what many
Absolutely.
countries have done. They've done it in a phased manner, and that is the right thing to do. And that is the
Right.
only thing which kicks off. No, it also brings some amount of positivity, and
True.
the business as usual happens, but it takes time. But I think it's good
Absolutely.
for that, and that is the way it should be. No, it cannot be closed for a longer time. I think we are on the right track, and the right steps
Okay.
have been taken, and I think every
Right.
step which has been taken is in the right way. I think be positive. I think everything happens for good. Yes, this is the testing time, and things will change.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
has to change.
It
It
has to
may
change.
take time, but it has to change. It will change. So I think it's good. No, opening up of economy gives a lot of comfort individually
True.
and to the community, business community. So that's very critical. I think, which is very psychological thing. You tend to know
Yeah.
see that okay, things are getting back, and that gives a
Getting-
big morale. And I think that push takes care of a lot of things. And I think that we are on the right track. Inshallah, I think that's the right thing to do. I think things should be perfectly all right.
Absolutely. As you rightly said, things are moving ahead and moving in the right direction. So, Dr. Sam, how is the business and what do you think are the plans for the business?
Well, I totally second what Ramki Sahib just mentioned.
Right.
We need to prepare, not panic, So consider this astronauts going into space. Every space flight is full of thousands of risks for their lives. But yet they're actually elated to that space flight because of, by then they would have prepared and practiced over and over on every eventuality possible. Every possible eventuality, Chris Hadfield, this famous astronaut, has once said, it's not like astronauts are braver than other people, but we are just meticulously prepared. So similarly, as individuals and business, we need to meticulously plan, prepare, practice, and create a template for normal. And this preparation has to absolutely begin with understanding that life as before, life as we used to call normal, will not be back anytime soon. Let's accept this very fact. And there's this beautiful old prayer, which is always insightful. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to understand the difference. So let us focus on things which is in our hand. If you're worried about our safety, take time to learn about the virus, the prevention measures, and even quarantine isolation measures if it comes to that. Similarly, if you're worried about your finances, prepare a budget for it. Stick on to it, at least for the coming 3 months. Now, if you're worried about your job, instead of panicking, I think we need to try to improve your skills and expertise. Now, as far as business goes, I would say that it would mean being transparent communication with employees. Keep them informed on what's happening on, and how best each of them can work towards ensuring a safe working place and also business continuity. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it makes sense because things have to open, as Mr. Ramki said, and we have to move in a direction, and we've chosen the right direction.
True.
So the next thought is there a general strategy that most of us can apply in our situation right now to cope better or bring harmony that we're talking about? Masud, what do you think? How is the harmony or the balance that we can get back?
Okay. So Hema, I think some of the things here Bilqis had rightly said of, things that we need to learn and things that we need to do to bring in harmony. But I think as general strategies, I will again put out 5 basic strategies for our audience here. And to
Okay.
start off with, I would say life is a practice. What we choose to practice defines our values, and these values
True.
give us the capacity to self-soothe ourselves in difficult situations. So number one, I would say, is we all should try and practice simplicity. That is, letting go of things that are not really important. Having that wisdom to recognize the difference between what's really important and what is extra. Just that
Absolutely.
voluntary simplicity in everything we do can take a lot of stress out.
Right.
Number two, in a moment of stress, take a step
Mm-hmm.
back. That is, instead of reacting to every situation and every thought, take a few moments to pause, just to breathe and connect with how we are feeling, can
True.
take the edge off in any situation. Number three,
Okay.
I would say, is practice patience. Like we ever feel like we are ready to lose it, we are going to throttle someone if they don't hurry up. When we
True.
suffer through that, constant irritation of life, I think then we need to cultivate more patience, one day, one moment at a time. Patience is not a feeling of calm and peacefulness all the time, but it is
True.
bearing with discomfort, with
Yes.
humility and surrender. So, like waiting in a line at a grocery store, can we breathe and wait for our turn? In this time of great difficulty, I would say we all need to invite patience. Number four, I would say practice kindness and compassion. This is not
Yeah.
just for the happiness of others, it is a powerful way to deepen our own happiness and freedom. So, strengthening kindness and compassion offers this inner refuge of steadiness. So, in spite of our imperfections, we all have this unfathomable goodness inside us. So, we
True.
need to start using that goodness to benefit others and ourselves. And number five, I would say, since we are on compassion and kindness, can we use that kindness for ourselves too? We can
True.
look in the entire universe and we won't find anyone more deserving of our love than ourselves.
Then
So come
ourselves.
to yourself at this time with kindness, compassion, and love. And at this moment, I would ask you all, like, what is that one kind, loving wish you could offer yourself right now? Thank you, Hema.
Wow, very well said. Wow. And I think I'm going to follow this because I was so engrossed in listening to you that I'm going to follow this. And I really request the viewers also to follow this because it really will bring in that, that extra positivity that you need right now to move on, to stay strong. And wow, thank you so much. Balkis, what is your thought on the same? I'm sure you have some good words too.
I totally agree with Musarrat, and I think
Yeah.
we should also uh, invite the pause, notice, and accept three words in our life. Like we need to
Yeah.
pause this, the speedful things that is happening now and the flow of information into our life. So I think
Yes.
we really need to pause that, and we need to notice and we need to acknowledge the present time at the moment that we are living through. And
True.
we need to accept what is happening around us and embrace it rather than just have that fearful emotion connected with it. I think we should really be easy on ourselves, and
True.
because as we settle into this rhythm of the new normal, we can focus on asking ourselves, what can we learn out of it,
True.
instead of just dwelling in how. How? So it's the time for us just to pause everything and ask ourselves, what can we learn out of it? Just like Dr. Baby Sam had clearly stated, it is time for you to update your skill. It is time for you to set a budget for the coming 3 months, for example. It is the time to do so and so. So it's that pause that you need to do, and just give the focus to yourself. As Masarat said, it is the time for us to accept our imperfections and try our level best now to leverage our skills level, you know.
Yes, true.
That's very much what I would say. It's what do we learn from this? What is the learning that we are
Absolutely.
getting out of this? Yeah.
Right. As you all truly said, there is a learning that we need to take from here. And, lately I've been seeing these posts on the social media, which says 2020, we don't need this year. We rip off it from the calendar. This year just didn't exist. It didn't come. But then actually, if you think, there is so much this year has taught us. It's really brought in so much of positivity, I feel, more than the negativity. The negativity was just a phase. We overcame it. It's a challenge that all of us have really emerged out very well. So I think, yeah, that's a well-deserving year, I feel. But yeah, and a lot of people feel that there is, it's the end of the tunnel. That's it. There is no life ahead. So, do you think we should stop making plans? Do you think it's the end of the tunnel? What do you think, Mr. Ramki? I mean, how do you think we should go ahead from here?
Oh no, not at all. I don't believe, honestly, and I think that is what others also should look at, in that way. If that is the case, I don't think we will exist. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel, and future is bright. You be positive. Things will change. It has to change. It has proven in many circumstances what we have gone through and what we have come out from. No, there is a light. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Probably you can feel that it's slightly taking longer, but it's natural. It's natural because it's such a pandemic. So you need to go with the reality. But it doesn't mean that you don't see a light at the tunnel. I think that is what everyone should build. They should believe that, yes, things will change. You will see a light, and you should come out from that. What I can say, don't keep thinking about what is there at the social media, what is happening in the WhatsApp message. I think you need to have a very, very positive aura. And I think that is what you should cultivate and be positive. There is definitely a light. There is no way where it can be a darkness. So there is a light. My strong message is that I think things will come back to normal. There is absolutely no doubt.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Dr. Sam, what are your inputs?
Definitely, Hema. I mean, there's definitely a better, brighter tomorrow. There are many ways to consider this phase. For those who are very spiritual and religious, we can take it as a test of our faith. It can also be considered as a correction of sorts.
Absolutely.
To prompt all of us to be mindful of our health and hygiene, to be similarly conscious of the fact that we share this planet with many other species, and to make space for all of them. Most of us might have been mindlessly floating throughout our existence. And this virus can be considered as a wake-up call to filter out this unnecessary, and as Mazrad was just mentioning, what is important, and focus on purely essentials. Now, a problem we all face is our resistance to change. If we are more open towards change, we shall be better at adapting to these changes. But at the same time, we need to understand that we humans are a very resilient lot as a race. We have survived much worse epidemics, pandemics, financial depressions in the past, and we shall survive this as well. So one thing to hold on is to hope and faith in ourselves and in our resilience. I think Balkis used that word very rightly. It's our faith in ourselves and our resilience is the most important thing. Let's continue to make plans for our future, but taking into account that we are going to be living in a new normal. That's it.
Absolutely. Yep. I totally agree to what you just said. And, there is a lot of lesson that we all have learned from here. So what are some of the major takeaways from this webinar, Dr. Sam, if you could just We'll start from you this time.
Okay. Takeaways. Well, this has been a great learning for me personally. This panel itself. 10 techniques from Maserat, and you have a psychologist on board, and you have a wellness expert and an educational evangelist, Madam Balkis. A thorough professional and a good friend and a great human being, Ramki Saab, on board. So this last, I would say, 50 minutes or so has been a great experience personally for me. And our journey with COVID-19 may be compared to 5 stages of grief, I would say, from denial to anger to depression to bargaining and finally acceptance. So we now come to a level of acceptance as we now work on ways to coexist and overcome this impact. And a critical aspect to this acceptance is taking proactive care of our well-being. So, Hima, we have been conditioned over the years to really ignore our minds and emotions and display a strong image for the sake of others.
Yes.
So I would say the one positive outcome from the virus is the importance being given to our individual well-being, especially the mental health. So every one of us react differently to the situation around us. No questions asked about it. Every one of us, none of us are like unique. Equal. We are unique. But there is also a lot of common behaviors and reactions. So the biggest takeaway for me would be that we need to be aware of ourselves and our habits and patterns and take conscious effort to correct these as needed. So there are a lot of practical tips for overcoming a lot of our roadblocks. But ultimately, as Madam Balkis said, it is up to each one of us to take that step. That's from my side. Hima, and Hima, you have been a great host as well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Sam. It's a pleasure hosting this show for you all. Mr. Ramki, what are your takeaways from this show?
Hima, I echo what Doctor was referring to. It's been good. Yes, it's a challenging time. There is no doubt about it. Personally, I've learned a lot. Maybe on my behavioral thing, my anxiety levels, and a lot of corrections have happened, and I think this really personally I was able to learn quite a lot, and I'm able to focus back on my hobbies, talk to people. It's not just WhatsApp messages. I spoke to a lot of them personally. I think that gave me a lot of comfort. So quite a lot of things have happened in last 3 months, and especially God is kind enough. He's been very, very kind enough with us. So there are a lot of people who are in really need. I think we need to maybe stretch ourselves, take that one step forward, say that, okay, come out from the comfort zone, see what others are going through. I think at every stage, every step which you do, don't think of only you and your family. That is there always, but look at what others are going through. If someone says I need an help, there may be a genuine reason. Otherwise, why someone would like to ask that? So just be open-minded, open up, talk to them, find out what is their issue. Do your best, do a little bit of counseling, whatever you can do. Push a lot of positivity in them, bring them back to the normal thing. I think more than my personal thing is, okay, fine, we should take care of our family, but I think a lot big role which we have to take care of others who are in really need. Maybe it can be maybe even a one-day meal, or they would have lost the job. So you need to put a positivity in whatever you can do, because I think you have equal responsibility there. So I think that's my thing to whoever is watching this. I think Almighty is very kind enough. I think you should do this. I think that gives you a very big relief. Personally, that's what I've been experiencing for many years. I think that is what making me do better and be positive. I personally learned quite a lot.
Wow.
And I think we need to look at a lot more. How do you do? How can you be of some help to others? I think that is very important.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ramki. I'm sure listeners will definitely pay heed to this. Balkis, what is your thought on this? I mean, what's your takeaway?
First of all, Hema, I'd like to thank you for this invite, and I'd like to thank you for your professionalism in asking questions and, getting the right thing to be shared with the viewers. I think what I really come to learn and that I will take with me is um, stop being judgmental about myself and about my abilities. And when things are not the way they should be, then I shouldn't be really harsh on myself. And I think also one of the things that I would I would like to share as from my learning is to accept sometimes that situation goes through the way they go. And
Absolutely.
of course, it's not like you should not do anything about it, but then accept it with trials and trials to change it. And at the same time, last but not the least, I would say COVID-19 have opened our eyes for things that we used to take for granted. And as Dr. Baby Sam said, it's a wake-up call for us to appreciate everything around us and just to say, thank God for everything that you have granted for us. And that's very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Balkis. Thank you so much. Masrat, what about you? What's your takeaway?
Hima, again here, I would come up with 5 ways of saying that, so that
Very
our
good.
audience, it's easier for our audience to remember this, to what to take away from this webinar. And
Okay.
I would say that, as Sam said, that we are connected. So now more than ever, we have realized how connected we all are to each other. So let us learn from this hardship that we have to care for each other species, and this precious planet. Number 2, our actions impact that of others. Behaviors and emotions are contagious. So we need to be mindful of our emotions and our behavior and how if it is affecting others around us. Number
True.
3, we are all watering seeds. We all have seeds inside us, the helpful seeds and unhelpful seeds. What we water is what grows. Number 4, know that there is infinite strength in patience. And number 5, as Bilqis said, practice gratitude. When we are thankful for everyone we have in our lives and every small
Absolutely.
thing we have, then it helps us to find that harmony within us. So to thank you for conducting this, and to all of
Pleasure.
you and to all of our audience, no matter what struggles you are going through right now, on behalf of my colleagues here and myself, I send you these kind wishes. That is, may you all be happy, may you all be safe and protected, may you be at ease with the unknown ahead, and may you be all at peace. Thank you so much, Hima.
Wow, thank you all for such wonderful words. I'm sure our viewers have definitely benefited from this. So this brings us to the end of the webinar. And thank you all for sharing your advice. And our viewers would definitely benefit from all of us. So as we end, we could just say that every cloud has a silver lining, and this phase will pass too. So I'm sure we will all emerge out of it stronger and better. The tips and the advice shared today will definitely bring about the harmony that we all are looking forward to. On this note, I thank all our guests for instilling in us the right attitude and to take up this challenge and bring about the change within ourselves. Thank you all for the time, and it was really wonderful talking to you all. And thank you again. I request the viewers, though, to kindly stay while we have a little something for you to experience. Thank you so much, dear guests. It was really nice talking to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, dear viewers, there's ample evidence documenting how meditation helps reduce stress, positively changes brain function, and boosts the immune system. Let us find calmness and focus by directing our thoughts away from our daily troubles and embark on a mystical journey to attain bliss. Yoga Nidra is a meditation and conscious relaxation practice that is intended to induce total physical, mental, and emotional relaxation. We have a guided meditation session brought to you by Yoga City, recorded in the voice of Dr. Baby Sam Samuel to mark the International Yoga Day celebrated annually on the 21st of June. You can follow the instructions seated or lying down on a mat. It's a 10-minute practice, so I really request the viewers to enjoy this practice and try to follow this in your routine. And thank you so much for your time. It was a wonderful session, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you all.
Ready for Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra means sleep with a trance of awareness. When you practice Yoga Nidra, you're opening the deeper level of your consciousness. Lie on your back, arms away from the body, legs slightly apart, your palms facing up. Relax. Close your eyes throughout the Yoga Nidra. Take a long deep breath. As you inhale, you're energizing your body. As you exhale, you're relaxing, releasing all your worries and discomfort. You're totally aware of your breathing. Now, slowly move your attention to your navel area. Again, watch your breath. As you inhale, the movement of the navel going up. And as you exhale, going down. Inhale up and exhale. Your full concentration is on the navel area. Now bring your attention to all of your body. Watch if there is any kind of discomfort, any pain. Just go to that part. And as you inhale and exhale, relax those muscles and joints. Now slowly bring your attention to your face. Your full awareness is on your face now. Tension towards your scalp, the forehead, your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, your lips, your chin, the whole of your face. Just observe. And now slowly relax each and every muscle and each and every cell of your entire face. Relax. Let the whole of your face, all the muscles of the face relax. Your eyes are relaxed. Your ears, your nose, your chin, your cheeks, your scalp. The whole of your head and the face is completely relaxed. Relax. Now slowly move your attention to your neck area. Watch all the muscles of your neck, front and at the back of your joints, and allow to relax. All the muscles and the joints of your entire neck is completely relaxed now. Now slowly bring your awareness to the right side of your body, right shoulder. Slowly moving down the biceps, the triceps of your right hand, the forearm, the palm. Relax all the fingers of your palm, the entire right hand and the shoulder. Your full awareness is on each and every muscles of your right hand and the shoulder. Allow all the muscles in the joint to relax. Allow it to completely relax. Now, each and every cell, the muscle of the joints of your right hand and the shoulder are completely relaxed. Relax. Relax. Now bring your awareness to the left side of your shoulder. Your awareness to the bicep, the muscles on the left hand of elbow, the forearm, the wrist, the palm, back side of your hand, all the fingers. Just be aware and allow it to relax now. The total awareness is on the left hand and the shoulder. Your full attention to relax each and every muscle and joints of your left hand. Allow it to relax completely. Your entire left hand and the shoulder is completely relaxed. Now bring your attention to your back. Your upper back, the middle back, and the lower back. Be totally aware of the muscles and the upper back, the middle back, and the lower back. All the joints are completely relaxed. Bring your attention more into your lower back. Just allow all the muscles of your lower back get relaxed. Now your entire back is relaxed. Now bring your attention to your right leg, back of your leg, buttocks, the thighs, knee, the calf muscles. Slowly going down to your ankle and the toes. Just be aware. Bring your awareness to the sole of your foot. Allow all the muscles of the entire right leg to relax now. Your entire leg, the right leg is completely relaxed now. Relax. Bring your awareness to the left leg. All the muscles of your left leg, buttocks, the thighs, the knees, the calf muscles, ankles, the sole of your foot. Be very aware and relax each and every single muscle and the joints of your left leg. Relax all the muscles of the left leg. Relax. Relax. Watch your body from the sole of your foot, slowly moving up, slowly towards your hip, and the awareness slowly moving up towards your shoulders. The hands are very relaxed. Your face is completely relaxed. Your entire body is in a state of deep relaxation. Be there. Feel the relaxation of your entire body. The entire body is completely relaxed. You are in deep state of relaxation. Feel your body. Now slowly bring your attention back to the room. Just be aware. Slowly bring all the energies and consciousness back to where you are. Bring all your awareness back to the room and slowly bring all your energy, consciousness back to your body. Just be aware of your body now, your hands, your face, the back, the front of your body. Just be very aware. Slowly, you're bringing your awareness back to your body. Bring your attention to your breath. Feel your breath. Inhale and exhale. Bring your awareness to your breath. Now slowly take a deep breath through your nostrils and exhale through the mouth. Again, take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Now slowly bring your palms together and rub your palms gently. Keep on your eyes and your face. Be thankful for this beautiful moment. Have a smile on your face.